So I'm in an interesting spot. Desperate measures calls for desperate solutions. And right now, you can see I got things set up behind me and whatnot. Is because this living room of my house is going to be my new guitar, keyboard recording studio for the foreseeable future. And I thought I would make, like a short series because I kind of need help of figuring out how's the best way to go about this while I also obtain gear. I got them set up behind me now, which is funny, but I got these HS8s used from Guitar Center literally a couple of days ago. Before this, I was borrowing Nigel's PreSonus 3.5, era speakers so that I could at least be able to work a little bit until I could get my own thing, because I was, at the moment, I didn't have my own monitors. The reason why I didn't have my own monitors is really cool, and I'll go ahead and let you guys know what that is, because this video here is just kind of letting you know that, hey, I'm setting up a studio inside of my living room, and this is what the studio is based around and what I'm hoping for it to be in the future and what it is right now. So the centerpiece of my studio at the current moment is the Nord Stage 4 Hammer Action 88. And I know you're probably thinking, buddy, you don't have a rack interface, like you don't have an Apollo, or you don't have a fantastic interface in general, because right now I'm running this thing into a PreSonus like Audio Box 2, something like that, something of that nature. Why in the world would you spend so much money on a Nord Stage 4 and having that be the center of the studio? And the complete and total honest answer is I did not. I actually have always dreamed of having this board, but I never really expected myself to be in the situation where I would actually grab one as somebody who's not a predominantly piano player. Like, I do like to play around with synths. I do like fantastic organ sounds, fantastic piano sounds, as any musician would. But I didn't find myself to be, I guess you could say, quote unquote, proficient enough to actually buy a Nord for my studio. The honest answer is this came up used at Guitar Center. You can see a trend that I really, really, really love used Guitar Center website. If you don't check it out, I would definitely recommend browsing on there every day, because there's so many different stores, there's so many different Guitar Centers that sometimes themes come up at crazy prices, but they only last like a day, or they last like literally hours on the website because of how crazy the prices can be sometimes. It's definitely a hit or miss type of thing there. But this came up at the type of price where it would have been extremely, extremely foolish to not buy it. It would have been the worst. I'm telling you guys, if I was to tell you the price that I paid for this, you guys would agree that not buying it by any means necessary, no matter what I had to sell, no matter what I had to trade in, would have been the biggest mistake in my life. I am not joking when I say that. It would have been the hugest mistake in my life if I didn't buy it at the price that it was tagged at. It was a genuine once in a life opportunity how fairly and wellly priced this board was. So I decided to take the money that I had aside to get a rack interface and to get studio monitors at the time, and use that money to get the Nord on top of trading in a few items as well to get the Nord, because it just made too much sense. And now that I got it in the studio and now that it's here, I am very happy, very pleased with how it sounds, very pleased with how it records. And I'm definitely planning to make some content in the future of how can you use the Nord to enhance your guitar workflow? How can you use Sonora to enhance MPC workflow? All types of things of that nature are gonna be coming out very, very soon. But dude, this thing right here is just, I'm so happy to have it. It's the centerpiece of my studio, and every Batman needs a Robin. And the Robin for my Norwich Stage 4 at the moment is the Arturia Astrolab 61. And this is definitely one of those things where it's like, that is a very weird choice of keyboard. Why are you using that? And it's because I like to play aux keys at church alongside with guitar. That's something that I've kind of evolved into doing as of the recent. And I've made my own sounds. I've made my own lo-fi beats. They're out on streaming platforms and all that stuff and whatnot, using the collection, using Arturia The Collection. So I have preset sounds. This thing gives me the ability to take those preset sounds on the go in a hardware synth without a laptop, and that's great. There are some other boards that I'm interested in. I'm not gonna lie, this is a guitar channel, and it's gonna stay a guitar channel for the most part. I do want to talk about, like I say, you know, making this guitar studio and all these things in natures, but I'm definitely kind of going through a phase of just trying different synths and keyboards inside of my life to like enhance workflow and things of that nature. Because for me, it had always been record real guitar amps, or sometimes use an amp sim and then just use VSTs for like literally everything else. And I'm breaking out of that at the moment. I'm definitely breaking out of that. But yeah, I'm definitely expect me to talk about more keyboards and more synths in the future, in terms of, hey, I got this for the studio, hey, I got that rack unit for the studio, whatever it may be. Just definitely expect to see that in the future. But these two boards, they do wonders together right now. I'm definitely pleased with it, but there are definitely other synth workstations or synth modelers, is kind of what I like to call them as somebody who comes from like a guitar amp modeler world. These things, you know, they emulate the sounds of a bunch of different analog synths depending on which ones you get. But yeah, like some type of synth modelers, I'm definitely gonna be looking in the future at some different things and talking about them just a tad bit. We talked about it earlier. HS8s are the speakers of choice at the moment. There is a second set of speakers that I would like to get to assist with these. These are definitely going to be the main speakers for a very long time though. I went back and forth trying a lot of different, you know, studio monitors, and I think the two pairs that landed on me specifically were the A7Vs by Adam Audio and the HS8s, and these were very, very cheap used, unlike the A7Vs. So I went ahead and got those. Behind me, you can see right there is my SM7B. That's not what I'm using to record audio today. I'm actually trying out this Hollyland lav mic. So I'm interested to hear how this ends up sounding, but this is going to be the main content mic for the most part, as well as it can get a little bit of studio work done for me. That's going to be fun. I got this like rack set up next to me. I got these two SKB racks set up next to me. Don't got a lot going on in them right now. There's just a mixer down there. Going to get probably a rack interface inside of there sooner rather than later, as well as I got this Tote Vision TV set up with my PlayStation 2. I just got SmackDown versus Raw running on it, you know, just for the fun, you know, for the aesthetic. I think aesthetic can really bring up studios sometimes. Not a lot of treatment yet, and this room is definitely extremely boomy, and that is something that I really need your guys' help with. Just figuring out how am I going to deal with that, because I genuinely don't know at the moment, but it's going to make life so much easier. It's going to make life so much better. It's going to make, you know, just the creation process feel like honest, I guess you could say, because I guess right now I'm not doing a lot with this setup because it's very limited, but I feel like I'm not always getting an honest idea of what things sound like, just because of how reverberated it can be out here. Like I'm kind of in a situation where there's like a lot of tiles, you know, I'm right next to the kitchen. The stairs are literally right there. Like somebody could walk up and down the stairs inside of these videos. It's kind of very funny, but it's just gonna have to work for now. Like, to be honest, it's just gonna have to work because I want to keep creating content and I want to keep creating music despite like certain situations. So hey, bump it, we ball. And this is what we gotta do, this is what we gotta do. To the right of me, like just right next to this SKB I showed you guys, I got a guitar rack set up and it has, you know, a few different axes there. You might be able to see some Easter eggs for some future guitar reviews. I got a couple of guitars hanging on the wall as well. And that's kind of the main gist of the studio at the moment. Herman Miller chairs, because comfort is extremely important when it comes to this type of stuff. Music stand to the side that just, you know, shows some books and some ideas and things of that nature. But I just wanted to give you guys the beginning of the journey, and it's gonna keep evolving, it's gonna keep getting better, hopefully. And I'm very excited to have you guys on this journey with me as I show you how I decide to navigate making this work. Different review products coming up, a little update. Got multiple guitar reviews coming up. I got like 3 guitars on backline. I know we've been waiting a long time for the Chris 10 review. The Chris 10 review is next. That is probably going to be the next thing that I do. And after that, I got 2 other guitars that, actually I got 3 other guitars after that I have to review. And I will show you guys about. I'm gonna also be reviewing some different audio things as well. I wanna talk about what I think about the Astrolab, if you guys don't mind that. You know, leave it in the comment. Do you guys wanna see me every now and then branch out into talking about synths and talking about keyboards, how they work in the studio, how they actually pair, you know, peanut butter and jelly with some guitars, depending on your workflow and your needs. I want to talk about different in-ears. I got a video about in-ears coming out because, as you know, Shure makes $100 in-ears. They make $800 in-ears. Beyerdynamic makes $500 in-ears. So what about all these Japanese and different Asian companies that make $20 in-ears, $100 in-ears that are just getting extremely popular for gamers? So we're gonna see how these work for musicians. I'm really interested to see how that's gonna go. I'm just really excited to talk to you guys again and excited to just, you know, swing open the door and really, you know, hit it, man, really hit it. So glad to be back. I'll be talking to you guys soon. See you in the next video where 9 times out of 10 we will be reviewing the Chris 10 by Ibanez Guitars. Without further ado, this is Isaiah. I'll see you guys in the next video. Like and subscribe.